All right, this is Dylan Bowker with Sportskeeda MMA, and very excited to be talking to an individual who's had this fight building up for many years now, dating back to a sparring session before his fight with Ben Askren. Jake Paul going to be taking on Mike Perry on July the 20th, and great to have Mike back on the program to chat a little bit. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. Thank you, man. I'm well prepared. I'm trained up. Um, I'm losing it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like just raring to go, like ready to get into the fight, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of effort every day, couple times a day, training. I'm working, but my body is craving it. My mind is focused. You know, the fight is won far away from the arena, and it's one in the gym. It's muscle memory. It's everything we're doing now in these last, couple weeks. And I was at the gym this morning. I felt great, looked great, fast, sharp, very powerful. And I'm excited to go out and perform. I'm ready to just be let loose.
Yeah, and it seems like technique boxing has always been the primary space, but I'd seen an interview after your Thiago Alves win at Knucklemania where you were talking about wanting to get in some work with David Benavidez, or that was in the plans at least. Did that end up transpiring?
It did not. I was going to. I went to Miami. I had some business in Miami. That kind of took up a lot of my time. He was short on time as well as he was training for his fight that he just had. And it worked out fine. It's his opponent that he fought was quite different than someone like me. I feel like I'm a good work for when he gets that Canelo fight. I feel like I can work with him, but I didn't get to
All
work with
good.
Benavidez, and that's fine because I work with a lot of great guys. I have a lot of great teammates, family up here in Central Florida area that they're like family, gym fam, and my family's involved as well. My wife and my mother and my kids, and I just have a lot that I fight for, and it means so much to me and everyone else who knows that it means so much to me. I pour myself into this, and I love it.
Yeah, it really comes across and something that I've noticed through not just talking to you personally, but just other interviews. Like even when you're in the specific realm of bare knuckle, like you always seem to refer to yourself specifically as a boxer and the art of boxing and talking about how your skill set within this medium is kind of belied a little bit based on the pure gloved experience you do have. So all factors considered, I would think you'd be tremendously excited about this opportunity here in that sense.
Great point. Absolutely. This has been a long time coming. It's kind of weird where my boxing record doesn't showcase what I'm capable of. And Jake did all the hard work for me, building up his boxing record in order for me to. Don't get me wrong, I put in the work and I fought in a way that the other guys that he's faced and himself have not fought. The bare knuckle shows true resilience when it comes to pain, and that I am capable of performing and competing in a way that others just aren't ready for, no matter their skill level. And I just have a different attribute compared to great competitors. I have something that I was born with, and even with gloves on, I plan to hit Jake really hard, as if it were a bare knuckle. I'm still trying to stick his teeth through my fist.
Yeah, and the last time we were speaking, you were likening your feud with Jake Paul to that of the iconic Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz rivalry. I mean, you're very locked into your training, but I'm curious if you maybe caught Nate Diaz's recent boxing victory over Jorge Masvidal and what your thoughts might have been on that.
Yeah, I did. I watched the fight. To be honest, I missed, dude. As soon as the fight started, my fan Mio went out for like
Oh no.
4 rounds. I tried to get it back on, and you know what I did? I paid for the fan Mio stream. Wasn't working. Wasn't working. I tried over and over again. I went to crack streams. I Googled crack streams, clicked on it right away, got the stream to work, and then my FanMio shit came back on. I kept the crack stream streaming, and then the FanMio came back on around round 5. I missed the first 4 rounds. I'm wondering what Jorge did in the first 4 rounds. I feel like he would have had more speed and explosiveness in those rounds, and he did maintain some explosions throughout the fight. I think he landed the more significant strikes, but Nate's pressure against Masvidal and just constantly just being in his face, just pushing him around, jabbing him, little slappy shots. It added up. It was a close fight. People want to say robbery. People want to say this. I talked to Mark Goddard. All robbery means is it was a close fight. Neither guy got the finish. I think I'm a different type of boxer. I think I do have boxing abilities. I think bare knuckle boxing is very similar to boxing. It just, you got to have a higher pain tolerance. And, I'm going to hit Jake extremely hard with 10-ounce gloves on. I'm looking to hurt him. So, time will tell. And when we get in the ring Saturday, July 20th, I'm looking to show the world the best platinum parry they've ever seen.
Yeah, and I mean, even just briefly touching on bare knuckle, like I know your focus is squarely on this next one, but it would seem like you have an abundance of opportunity for whatever your next fight could be. Like, I think it's interesting. There seems to be some conversation with Robbie Lawler, who you were supposed to fight at UFC 255, but ended up falling out. And I mean, you got like a bit of a situation with a couple of the BKFC champions. It seems like you have a bit of a casual rapport with, Jared Warren, and a bit more bad blood with his shift teammate David Mundell, who's the middleweight champion. Just to say, it seems like you have an abundance of options within that space whenever you get back to it.
Yeah, I go out here and beat the shit out of Jake. All those guys can kiss my ass. How about that? I'm doing all the hard work. I'm the one out here fighting. They're sitting back, not doing shit with their lives or with themselves. I'm collecting checks, and I'm collecting next. So whoever's next, it's going to be extremely huge. They're going to earn that shit. Nate is a possibility because he's been out here fighting and he's been earning that shit. And I'm looking to go, even though he lost to Jake, he still went 10 rounds with him. I'm looking to put Jake down in less than 8. And, it's a possibility just to honor the fight, one of the Diaz fam. If Jake got to do it, I think it'd be a really fun fight. I don't know if he would do any press conferences with me. He doesn't want to talk shit. He just wants to fight. I think, me and Nate are similar, 2 peas in a pod, man. And me and Jake could be similar in ways too. Every time I go into a fight, I honestly feel like it's me versus me, that there's some I could see my opponent. I see myself in them and I see them in me. And it's me versus me, and I have to show up and be the best version I can be and take, I got to take the pain. I got to take the suffering. I got to blood, sweat, and tears, and I got to perform through all of that. And I feel like I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying in terms of like you putting in the work and stuff like that, and you're ultimately like the big name in BKFC right now. Just seems like such an exciting landscape, more so just with like the gloved boxing opportunities and obviously your place in bare knuckle. And then I was also seeing some talks of you wanting to get back to MMA, so it seems like a good time to be platinum.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir. I have a lot of options, and it's just hard to think about those options when I'm so focused on what it is I have to do. And I got to do what everyone's been waiting for, whatever everyone wants to happen to Jake. And, it gets to be me. I'm the one who gets to do it to this kid. I'm going to show him true violence.
Yeah, and it kind of is, in a way, derivative of your Eddie Alvarez fight, just because I remember talking to you in the lead up to that, and you intimated you thought he might have been on some sort of performance enhancers, and I saw some headlines where you seemed to perhaps think a similar thing with Paul in this fight. So just seems like your game. It just seems like you're ready to go regardless of the circumstances. Like I imagine there's also some benefit to getting to not have as, I guess, intensive of a weight cut in this one relative to some of your recent fights. So yeah, just kind of interesting seeing some of those headlines floating around about Paul recently and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to hype myself up, man. Prepare for the worst. Expect the best out of my opponents and expect better out of myself. I'm ready for anything and everything. And, you know, even the things that I don't see or don't expect, I'm expecting to see some things that I didn't expect. So, you know, whatever that might be, I'm ready to brawl through it and come out on the other side as successful as I've ever been.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like not even in a context of overlooking this fight, but just because Paul also has that Tyson fight coming up. Like one of the last times we were talking, I mean, it seemed like we were kind of touching on that component a little bit. And also, I was kind of mentioning how you describing your dad sounded very much kind of like how my dad was in a lot of regards. That would be probably kind of a wild thing for both of you guys if you were to get your ideal outcome here and then maybe get a Tyson fight and whatnot.
That would be something. That would be incredible for sure. Now you're speaking my language. It's like, you know, those other guys, they're just fucking waiting in the wings. Me, I've been out here working, and this is my, you know, this is a big opportunity, and the sky's the limit. The possibilities are endless after this. So it's like a Mike Perry versus Mike Tyson is a possibility, man. You know, that's really cool to me, and I wouldn't do it in a way that, you know, like people were mad at Jake for doing it if he was gonna get to do it. I think a lot of people weren't mad at him, and they're like, no, Mike's gonna mess him up. And if Mike still wants to show the world that he still got it at his age and he wants to fight someone, well, you know, let's just see what happens Saturday, July 20th, DAZN pay-per-view, or if y'all want, man, if you can make it out to Tampa at the Amalie Arena, go to Ticketmaster.com/MVP. Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. Buy your tickets. There's a few available, so come and check us out. Watch the fight. Enjoy yourselves. Have the time of your life.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to be mindful of your time. I know you're a busy guy, and I want to be respectful of other people who want to also get to talk to you. I feel like you kind of touched on all the key points there, but curious if maybe you had another final parting thought you might have wanted to add as we're wrapping up, Mike. I appreciate the time.
Day in and day out, man. I like seeing videos. Yesterday, I shared a video of Tom Brady and David Goggins, and they're like, you know, your want for motivation, and you don't want to go run those miles, you go run them anyways. You don't want to get up anyways. You don't want to do this, you do it anyways. And that's, you know, that's me every day. I'm just working, man. I just gotta get up, and I'm excited about it. You know, I woke up this morning like 7:20 before my alarm went off. I was ready, man. I got out of bed. I made my espresso coffee. I made some peanut butter toast. I took my pre-workout. I went to the gym. I put in the effort, and I'm about to go back to the gym here in like an hour or two and work out with my wife. We're going to kill an F45 workout. Shout out to Mark Wahlberg. Shout out to my sponsors, Market Cypher, Young LA. Shout out to my people, Kenpai Panda. Shout out to Overdogs Podcast. Shout out to MMA Media. Shout out to Fight Combat Sports Media. Shout out to everybody who's going to be watching and rooting for a great fight. And I'm looking to give this kid hell, bro.
You always bring that platinum pressure for sure, and I expect that on July 20th, and I imagine a lot of other people share in that belief. But again, to reiterate, thanks for the time talking to me and for coming on the Sportskeeda MMA platform. Looking forward to keeping this when it goes down. But until then, you have a good rest of your day, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Have a blessed day.